wake up in the morning, be able to rip the fucking head off of the New World Order, because we got real shit going on. And real shit takes real men. We need people with teeth that can bite. Heaven on earth is possible because no one man and no one woman is an island. Pick something. Get passionate about one thing and do that thing better than anybody, and put your competitors out of business. Welcome to the Mel Carmine podcast. Before we begin, I have something you need to see. 11 years ago in Costa Rica, I took a photograph that changed my life forever. I don't claim to speak to God, but I do believe he gave me a mission. Let me show you the photo, then you decide. If you're serious about protecting and growing your wealth, pay close attention. Looking to acquire XRP, I can help. Minimum purchase is $10,000 and there is no maximum. Whether you're investing $10,000 or $10 million, text me directly at 786-704-8817. And while you're at it, ask us how a religious irrevocable trust can get you off the grid and fully protect your assets and investments. Interested in gold and silver? For extremely competitive prices, visit carminesgold.com. Our minimum order is $50,000 and there is no maximum. We can handle virtually any size transaction. Then visit QFS1776.com for exclusive merchandise, links to our social media, and a library of 100% free videos explaining the new financial system millions are following. No hype, no paywall, just information. Don't miss our 5-star documentary everyone is talking about. Dear Mr. President, show me the money. Visit dearmrpresident.net and ask yourself, what if we show you irrefutable, irrevocable evidence in our movie that everyone with a social security number is worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Do we have your attention? The link is in the description below. Finally, join our official Telegram groups and be aware of fake Mel Carmine accounts. If anyone tells you that you must register your XRP with the so-called quantum financial system, it's a scam. Now subscribe and share this episode with someone you care about. Turn up the heat on these scammers and let's get to work. Also, scan the QR code and opt in so you don't miss any amazing workshops at Staying Alive in Cape Canaveral. Now, here's your host, Mel Carmine. Well, good afternoon, and just another nothing burger on XRP. There's a lot of people getting excited about nothing. We're about to have a breakthrough. A breakthrough. What planet do you live on, dudes? I mean, I understand you're trying to get clicks. You can't squeeze blood out of a rock. There's nothing to squeeze here. Now, I understand that supposedly we're getting ready to have a peace treaty with Iran. Now it's on, off again, on, off again. You can't trust these fuckers, Mr. Trump. And you gotta either bomb the shit out of them. When they say, we're ready to give up, bomb them some more for another month. Then maybe. But these guys, you can't read them. They're natural born liars. They believe their own bullshit, okay? So XRP, the dinars, there's a lot of great news happening. Yes, it feels good, feels fuzzy. But until I see the number on the screen where it says $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000, until XRP decouples from the market cap, you don't even see it listed on the market cap anymore. That's a little toy for the guys who think they have the big swing. And you know what? The Bitcoin guys, by the way, we're going to make an announcement here. As of hopefully as early as today, Staying Alive is going to be accepting as payment officially gold, silver, XRP, XLM, XDC, and yes, even Bitcoin, which will immediately turn it into XRP. We won't hold it in Bitcoin denomination. They have strict rules to follow my orders, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So anyway, $6.37 is not something I get excited about, okay? We're about to have a breakthrough. What planet do you live on, folks? Okay, listen, I want to I want to get nostalgic on you a little bit. How did I survive to COVID-19 besides that I made a transition from selling energy deregulation and I decided to go into podcasting? And I want to thank Nino Rodriguez personally and publicly, because he was the guy that I was looking up to and said, this guy's he's a clown. So is Mel Carmine. I'm a clown. Okay. There's nothing different about Nino Rodriguez when that camera record button goes off or when it's on. He is who he is, on or off camera. I am who I am, on or off camera. Take it or leave it. Okay. So, but I want to share my screen with you guys, which is how I got through the hard times of the lockdowns. And we're still under lockdown. Don't kid yourself. Nino Rodriguez is under lockdown. Melcar, we live in these sheetrock dwellings made out of wood and fiberglass corning, freaking insulation and roof tiles that have to get changed every 12, 15 years. Keep telling you, rammed earth will last forever and will take down the cement industry. One day, if I get to have my cake and eat it too, Mel Carmine will become the biggest disruption, bigger by a factor of 100 times than Donald Trump. Because if I could get to live my dream of building Tube 1776 out, and I believe I will, there are some things in play right now that are exciting, but I'm not going to say nothing. We also, I'll give you a little hint. I won't tell you who they are or where they're at. But not maybe, 100,000%, 100 trillion%. We have our finger on longevity on steroids. I'm talking conservative based on science. And we have a group of scientists. Again, I won't tell you who they are or where they're from, but they're going to be coming to the Junior Quantum Summit. Some of them because they're very, very far away from here, okay, through a Zoom call. But most of them will be there in the flesh. And I will tell you in no uncertain terms, it's going to be about health, wealth, and protecting your wealth with Cobas, yours truly, who is going to show you how to set it up. One time only, a religious irrevocable trust, one time only, $6,500, you're done. And you could go on and build a company from that point forward of $100 trillion that's sheltered inside a ministry where you give everything to God, you control everything, you own absolutely nothing. And when you need something, you ask God, and God will provide. Okay? You got it? Okay. So let's get started. COVID-19 was very challenging for a lot of us. I was living in Costa Rica. I was having the time of my life. I was making really incredibly great money. I mean, I was making six figures, several $100,000 a year. Amber and I had call centers working all over Tampa, all over Florida, California, Texas, Vegas, working for us, selling energy deregulation. And we were making some really, really good money. We were working with this guy in California by the name of Arash, and we were working with another guy by the name of Zach, who now lives in Puerto Rico. And these are like my two main call centers. These guys were like the big King Kongs of the industry. And they both loved working for Mel and Amber because we would pay them more than everybody else, which is what I intend to do, by the way, with Tube 1776. People will come in droves. We're going to have to close and open our doors and let them in a little at a time, because otherwise it'll be overwhelming. But anyway, I don't want to get off track. So we were making, on some deals, we would make like, $5 to $8 when we have a call center that can produce quality sales that stick and a large number of sales. I'm talking, 1,500, 2,000 sales a week. So when you're making 1,000 sales a week and you're making, for example, between $5,000 to $8,000 a week, okay, or 2,000 sales a week, you're making that kind, and you got two call centers in that same campaign or multiple campaigns, you're crushing it. And then you got all the other small call centers that we were making $30 and $35, but they only deliver 100 sales a week, 150 sales a week. We were still crushing it. So if you do the math, basic math, will tell you that we were living pretty high in a hog, living offshore, just an incredible life, being able to travel to Bocas del Toro numerous times, Nicaragua, all over Costa Rica. Amber and I know more about Costa Rica than the president and this entire cabinet about Costa Rica. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way. I'm saying that we were able to do that because we had the wherewithal to be able to do that. But so when COVID rolled into town, the New World Order COVID story, I started gaining some weight, which I still haven't been able to really drop. Hopefully soon here we will. But these people that I'm bringing to the table, I don't know if I even said it because sometimes I go too fast. My brain works a little too fast. These people that I'm bringing to the table, these are scientists that have their finger on longevity. If I said it, I'll say it again. We can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt even though we haven't gone 300, 350 years into the future, we can prove it with pinpoint accuracy because of what the science is telling us. I'm not talking about trusted science like Fauci, who's a fugazi, who's an asshole. I'm talking about real science that you could take home. I'm talking about longevity with no disease, zero. 300, 350-year lifespans are coming, folks. And they're coming to you through stayingalive.com, live with 2 E's. And we're going to have a junior quantum summit soon. We're going to have 220 chairs. The price of the ticket, we're not sure yet, and whether it's going to include food, not include food. It's going to be a 2-day event. It's going to be XRP, the quantum financial system. Okay, so if you guys, anybody out there would like to see some of their favorite, it's not going to be like 28 speakers coming in from all over the country and they're all fighting for time on stage. No, each group of people is going to be able to have the stage for a good 3 to 4 hours. We're going to have breaks in between those big segments of 3 4 hours, and you're going to be able to go get a little snack, stretch your legs out, etc. It's going to be very relaxed. But I could tell you what you are about to hear is going to blow your mind. I know my mind is blown because I've always said that I want to live to be past 2,000 years old. I want my 63 years back with interest, which means I want triple. So that's 189 years, right? My math is correct. 63 times 189, right? And I want to live to be thousands of years old just to be a thorn in their side, because I know that heaven on earth is possible. Heaven on earth is possible because no one man and no one woman is an island. Pick something, get passionate about one thing and do that thing better than anybody and put your competitors out of business. I've chosen my thing. It's Tube 1776, because when people come with me with a product, and I'm going to tie it all up into how I'm going to be disruptive. When people come to me with a product and they got 3 billion, 4 billion people, and we will have that many people, I won't even tell you how, but we have a situation with voting. We're going to solve that situation and I can't tell you how. That's where the secret sauce recipe lies. That's my recipe, not yours. Okay. And we got full proof that we're going to be able to do that. So all Americans are going to be there. You know why? Because we want the elections to be fair and square. So we know 360 million people are coming for sure. And billions will come because every country can adopt that same situation. And we're going to fix that problem for every government of the world. Not maybe, 100 trillion %. And when you got billions of people on your website, and we will, and we're going to make sure that the Nino Rodriguez's are going to make millions of dollars per month, and the Patrick Bet-Davids and the Joe Rogans, I want these guys to get paid. I want them to be patriots. We're in a war. This is a war. You want your soldiers stressing for money? They can't afford teeth. They can't pay their bills, or they don't know where their next dollar's coming from to feed their family. That's not the kind of soldier I want in my arena. I want the kind of soldier that is very prosperous. I want the kind of soldier that absolutely can afford a first-class ticket and stay in a $1,000 a night hotel and sleep in a $10,000 mattress and eat a porterhouse steak or a tomahawk with a big lobster tail and some caviar and some champagne. And I want him to be well-rested, wake up in the morning, be able to rip the fucking head off of the New World Order, because we got real shit going on. And real shit takes real men. And real men cannot be stressed out, starving, and stressed out with no teeth. We need people with teeth that can bite. I don't know if I'm going to do a commercial on this one, so this is brought to you by QFS1776.com/shop. QFS1776.com/shop. Shop with the good guys, people. Carmine's Gold. Carmine's, CARMINES, gold.com. Altogether, carminesgold.com. 50,000 is the minimum. If you want to buy a roll of or 2 rolls, you just go down the street to your local silver dealer. There's plenty in your neighborhood. Okay, I could get you as much as you want. If you got a 401k and you want to put it into an IRA, we know how to do that as well now. I got other partners without mentioning their names. We just had a guy recently. I won't mention his full name, but his name is Tony. Tony put up $100,000, took it out his 401k, put it into a silver IRA, no penalties, no nothing. I'll let my guy tell you how it all works. Okay, 100,000. You want to do some gold? We could do some gold. You want to come to Staying Alive and charge the body? You could do that too. You want to go watch my movie, which you should watch my movie. You should spread it around to everybody who's worth 200 million, 500 million, 800 million. And that's all 320 million Americans, by the way. If you have a social security number, you're worth that kind of money. You don't believe me? Go watch the movie. $6. Some people say, Mel, you're charging. Yes, because then you'll respect it. And $6 and free is nothing. It's the same fucking thing. Okay? Go watch the movie. 10 people telling 10 people telling 10 people about that movie will reach 1 billion people. If out of 1 billion, 1 million people decide to give me $6, that's $6 million, I could launch Tube 1776 in spades. And we could take over the world. Why? Because we control the algorithms. The algorithms will not dictate to Nino Rodriguez or Michael Jaco how big they can get. They get as big as you say. There's so many things I want to tell you about this platform. It is so well thought out. I might not need the money. I might have investors that are investing in a project that's going to allow people to live 300, 350. Imagine the amount of technology that's going to come out in the next 200 years. I'm 63. Let's say they're wrong. We only get a 200-year lifespan, which is amazing. Think about how much technology is going to be on this planet in 200 years. We could win this. We can create heaven on earth on this planet. Whether we're a planet, whether we're flat, whether we're rectangular, nobody knows, because you paid into your tax system so that you could be lied to. You paid into a tax system, sent your kids to go to school so that they can dumb them down. You paid for a dumbing down project. You don't know shit. Take your diploma and stick it where the sun doesn't shine, and stop thinking you're on a high horse that you're better than everybody. You're not. You know who's smart? The people like me who go through the school of hard knocks. You can't buy my diploma. You got to fucking earn it. Best school in the world. I wouldn't trade it for all the tea in China. You learn how to think very quickly on your feet. I got a 200 IQ. Not a 200 IQ based on what mainstream thinks. No, I got a 200 IQ based on the school of hard knocks. I've been through the ringer, folks. We're going to come out with a documentary. It's based on Florida. I can't tell you much more than that. We're going to shake Florida. There's going to be a Category 10 earthquake in Florida when this 29-minute documentary comes out. I'm going through some shit right now with the local county. Now, I won't tell you much more, but at the appropriate time, I will tell you everything. We're going to take the entire document that was sent to all these different governmental agencies with common law, and we're going to shake the foundations of Florida. And that document is going to be downloadable underneath the movie. And this one's going to be a freebie for all you people that complain about $5.95. But you should make a donation if you got extra money. And I'm pouring my heart out here for you guys so that I can give you something of value. Then you should respect me. You should respect my staff and give us a donation. If you go to Dear Mr. President, Dear MrPresident.net, there's a donate button there. You should donate. Because I proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. I went out of my way. My people went out of their way to find the most elementary videos, to glue them together in a sequential order that makes sense, to tell you the most elementary story in a 5th grade level of education so that you can all understand it. I have had millions of people, well, not millions, but a lot of people sending me text messages on the 786 line and sending me messages on my personal line and staying alive. I can't believe how easy it was for me to understand the movie, Mel. That was deliberate. That was intentional. That was by design, because I couldn't understand it. See, I'm dyslexic just like you all are. I went to the school of dumbing down project too. So when I didn't understand it, I said, when I did understand it and the lights went off, I said, I get this. Now I'm going to explain it Carmine's way. And it turns out that Carmine's way is a great way. That's why you people are obligated, not to me, you're obligated to everybody in America. I'm just one guy. I'm insignificant. That if you people move that movie forward, forget 1 million copies. How about 100,000 copies? If the money ends up in the right hands, the right shit's going to happen. If you keep paying YouTube and Facebook and the IRS and all these government agencies that are taxing you to death, all these agencies are illegal. They're here to fuck you. And they're doing a good job at it because nobody stands up. I can't wait to tell you my story about Florida. Oh, it's a good one, boy. It's a good one. But let me get on how I survived COVID. I survived COVID because I was fantasizing, and I still am today, because if you don't have a dream, you're dead. Did you hear what I just said? If you don't have a dream, you're dead. Yes, I do believe that the XRP at some point is going to be worth a lot of money. The dinars, the silver, the gold, all of it. The ISO tokens that the Bitcoin people, most of them are in denial. They say, it doesn't even exist, Mel. Really? How come when you go in and punch ISO tokens, boom, all the 8 ISO tokens pop up? Soon, you'll get another token called Velo, VELO, which is connected to BlackRock. BlackRock is going to be broken up into little pieces. Well, Mel, BlackRock is part of the evil. Yeah, they are. But at some point, Donald Trump, especially if he's able to become president again in 2028, and we can get the special product to him and rejuvenate him, which we will, and he figures out a way to get in there again, nice and young. Would you like to have when I'm telling you that this particular product, I am so excited about it. This makes David Sinclair look like a Swiss cheese sandwich, an altar boy. This is next level, folks. I wish I could tell you everything I know. I'm excited about working with these guys. They're excited about working with Mel Carmine. They realize I am not full of hot air. I already have people who have sold me similar products, and they believe in this particular product being able to do what, okay, that are millions and millions. One of them owns a lot of properties, and the wife is very wealthy, etc. They're coming to the table. I got 3 more investors coming to the table. They don't need a lot. They need about $1 million, $1.5 million, and they're off to the races. And I'm coaching them because they want to go a little too fast, and they want to bring the product to people like Bruce Willis. And I said, that's dangerous. Why is that dangerous, Mel? Because everybody knows who Bruce Willis is. 8 billion people. The floodgates would open so fast that they would not be able to fulfill the orders. They're not ready for prime time yet. They got to scale a little bit at a time. Scale. And then I know exactly how to do this. I got a business mind. So how did I survive? How did I survive COVID-19? Well, when I would fantasize, I would always fantasize about being able to buy a boat and sail around the world, especially when I was younger and better shape than I am today, which I will be in better shape because this product is not only going to take care of Donald Trump, the leader of the free world, but it's also going to take care of Mel Carmine is going to look like a teenager soon. You feeling me? And you'll see this on camera right here. I'm so excited about it. I wish I could tell you everything. I really do. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to share my sound with you, and I'm going to share my story with you. When I was in Costa Rica and I had purchased the XRP, I was bored because of COVID-19. My inspiration, Nino Rodriguez, thank you, sir. And I started watching a lot of shows that have to do with sailing. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite documentaries that you guys should watch, I'm sure it's still on YouTube, is called Chasing Bubbles. And it's about a sailing story that it will blow your mind. And it was only 100,000 views at the time. I sent it out to a bunch of people. Today, it's got millions and millions and millions of views. A fascinating sailing story. If you like the ocean, if you have a relationship with the ocean, like I have, that's why I live near the beach. And that's why my center is 4 blocks from the beach. But anyway, here we go. I am going to play a little bit of this. This is, hopefully we don't get a copyright strike. Let's see here. Let me just shut off the volume while the stupid commercial's on. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, now let's put the volume back on. The name of this episode is My Final Video as Sailing Zingaro. Now he's called Be the Captain, and he just tells stories that are so prolific about sailing around the world, etc., that are unbelievable. Survival stories, all kinds of stories. And he turns out to be a great storyteller. I love this guy. I'm going to try to get him on my show, as a matter of fact. So here we go.
Hi, everyone. My name is James. You may or may not know me, but about 2 months ago, I bought a catamaran, and I'm going to sail it to Tahiti. I'd like to video log everything and kind of take you along on the adventure.
Man, would you look at that kid?
He's a little older now. Okay, now he's into the storytelling. I was watching him from the way in the beginning. So this is one of my favorite channels. And he talks about this episode here, which I'm going to go to right now, which is called, no, not this one. Hold on. Here we go.
Phil got handed the gaff one day.
All right. This episode is called Declared Dead at Sea. Then they came back. The Rose Noel story. What an incredible story it is. Okay. He's got 228,000 subscribers. This particular show has 390,000 views. Yesterday it had 370,000 views. I think I probably put it out there a little bit already. Okay. And it's starting to spread all over again. What a fascinating story. Now, not everybody likes this kind of stuff. This is one of my favorite shows. Now, Be the Captain is his new channel, Be the Captain, And I'm going to contact this gentleman and see if I get him on the show, like I said earlier. Another one of my shows that I used to watch, I don't watch them as regularly as I like them, as time is of the essence. Sailing Zatara, a family that just sold everything they had in Texas, bought a monohull. They didn't like the monohull. They traded it in for a catamaran, and they've been sailing around the world ever since. And another one, which is the top dog, which is Sailing La Vagabond. I watched more than that because there was so much time on my hands when we were all going through the COVID-19, as I was starting to learn about the digital assets, et cetera, and starting to invest a little bit. So Sailing La Vagabond, they have almost 2 million subscribers. Now they don't do a lot of sailing anymore. They bought some property over in New Zealand and they're having a farmland, whatever. I watched this from the very, very first episode. As a matter of fact, let me stop sharing. As a matter of fact, what happened was that he was working for an oil rig. This is the now husband with the 2 kids. They're not married, but anyway. And he got hurt on the oil rig, and he got something like $600,000 settlement. I forget the exact number. So he decides that he's going to change his he was actually in a full body cast, and he was in the hospital for a very, very long time. Amazing that he even survived it. And so he went and bought a sailboat, a monohull, from 3 Italians who are very argumentative. What else is new, right? So, and then he started sailing around the Mediterranean, and he got to Greece at one point. And Alania, who is a very talented street performer, songwriter, guitar player, he met her. He went on a few dates with her. And after a few dates, he was starting to fall in love with her. And he said, "Would you like to come sailing around the world with me? I have a yacht." And she said, "Oh, bullshit." So he goes, "Yeah, come on, I'll show you." So she went as a curiosity. She did not believe him. And sure enough, this guy's got a 46-foot freaking monohull, and live aboard, able to sail around the world, which is what she did. She gave up her street performance career and she went sailing with him around the world. And Amber and I would sit in front. Now, we were already purchasing XRP. We knew about XRP. I didn't start my podcast yet. These podcasts are as old as 10 years old, 11 years old. But in 2019, we found ourselves watching a lot of these. And so my podcast came there shortly after. But we were watching a lot of this stuff, fantasizing about, hey, this is the way to live. Look at this. And they were taking all these aerial footages of this beautiful turquoise water and these islands all over the world, the Philippines, Indonesia, Bali, everywhere, Italy, Greece, you name it. And we were like fantasizing about what it's going to be like when the XRP gets here. And so Sailing Zingaro, which is now Be the Captain, I saw that little episode that he did yesterday. It's called My Final Video, Sailing Zingaro. And he said, look, I now live in Medellin, Colombia. My channel has changed to Be the Captain, and now I am a storyteller. And he basically told the transition of Sailing Zingaro, showing all of his travels with all the beautiful women he met along the way and beautiful people, to just basically telling the story. And he's great. He's a great storyteller. But I can tell you that he said, I don't have a 401k. I don't have any investments. So there's my reason why I want to contact him, because even though I'm not a financial advisor, I'm probably the best financial advisor anybody can land. So I'm going to try to contact him and see if I could get him on the show and tell him about, hey, XRP, because I believe XRP really is Bitcoin. I think was the beta test for XRP. XRP is the real Bitcoin. I really believe that. I'm very enthusiastic. I just don't believe in the dates. I don't believe in it's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen next week. It's going to happen. No, stop. If you know anything about me, I don't follow dates, and I frown on anybody who throws dates out there. We've been through 17,717 dates. Have any of them come true? No. We got $1.06, and people say, we're about to have a breakout. I guarantee you tomorrow, there's probably a more likelihood. Not that I'm pessimistic, but I'm a realist. I like to walk my feet on firm ground, on terra firma. I guarantee you that there's a possibility that it goes down to $1.01 before we have this next. I believe there might be another shakeout, a really violent one. Like my friend Todd says. He says we might go down to as low as 67 cents. Well, I got my money parked. I hope Todd is right, because I'm a repeat offender. I keep buying. I got my money parked. I hope that event of 67 cents, Todd, does happen because I will buy back in. I'm either going to be a hero like many of you, or I'm going to be a zero like many of you. I'm all in. This is Texas Hold'em. I'm all in, baby. I believe. But I also believe that there are a lot of forces that are way beyond the control of Donald Trump. Look, Clarity Act or no Clarity Act, we've already been cleared. We won the lawsuit against the United States piece of shit government, the SEC. What happened? We thought we were going to go to $5 immediately. Did that happen? Of course not. I keep saying the same things over and over again because the same things over and over again are very true. And they are that they will move mountains. They loathe you. They don't hate you. They beyond hate you. They hate you times 1,000. When you get the money, you get power. The more money you have, the more power you have. They know that. And as the old saying goes, payback is a bitch. And if you don't think there's a lot of people out there that they know they're going to get the money and they're patiently waiting, quiet people, very quiet, that are going to go vendetta on these people, you'd be making a huge mistake. I hope you watched my video with Juanito. It was #1 on beforeitsnews.com for a total amount of about 36 hours now, 38 hours. It's still #1 right this second. And I was above X22 report. He was #2. X22 can't touch Mel Carmine. Not that he's very talented. I love X22. And I like LT, okay? And We Know, one of my favorite shows. I used to watch LT all the time. LT and X22, when I was bored in Costa Rica, I would watch my sailing shows during the daytime, and LT and X22 report would be the last two that I would set my timer just in case I would fall asleep. The TV would go off, which a lot of times I did because I was exhausted with all the stress that these governments have put us through. Payback is going to be a bitch, folks. Don't think that this is going to go unscathed. Someone's going to have to pay the fiddler. And I would not want to be in the shoes of these people. Matt, the chief of staff of 107, was there he was a Marine. He was there for a year and a half. It's in the video. Go watch the video with 107. He was there for a year and a half in Guantanamo Bay, overseeing the expansion and overseeing the media rooms that are being built. Those rooms are not being built for shits and giggles. One day, just like XRP is going to be 10,000, 50,000, 100, whatever the people upstairs need it at, whatever, it's got nothing to do with you and me and how greedy we are. Oh, it's going to be $1 million. I've seen people, oh, it's going to be $10 million. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if it gets there, I'll collect too. But the reality is, come on. You know, some of these people, I know people that are just regular, ordinary folks that have 100,000 XRP, 200,000 XRP. I know these people. $10,000 XRP makes you a billionaire. And if you know what to do with that money, there'll be places that you could put that money and make more interest than you can spend. You can't spend the interest. But just because we can't spend the interest, that doesn't mean we're going to keep handing our money out. No, people have to invest money, and not money, but time. We'll invest the money. You invest the time to learn how to fish because we can't do this forever. Okay, yeah, we got 1 million new multi-billionaires who are staking their money, and they're all making an average of $5. An average person's making, an extra $10 million a year or $20 million a year. We're just going to keep handing the money out until the end of time, until we become broke. That's not going to happen. I can assure you of that. So we're going to have to see you people come to the table and put some skin in the game. Then we could play. Until then, we don't play. We're not just going to hand you money and you can go hang out and party and smoke cigarettes and drink tonic and gin. No, that's not what we're going to do. And if you don't put skin in the game, well, put you aside and we'll play with people who want to play. Simple as that. So that's what I used to do. Obviously, there was other shows like Sailing Noah, which are great shows. Man, there's so many sailing shows. Sailing La Vagabond was the ones that started it all. They started it and it was just like, it blew up. People that had nothing left to lose. I know a young couple, I can't think of the name of their show. She's from Haiti. He's from Canada. Some of you guys know who they are. You might want to put it down below. These guys bought a boat on Craigslist for $5,000. Boy, if I would ever want to get stuck on a boat in the middle of nowhere, it would be with this kid. This kid is the handiest kid, okay? Out of all the people who are handy, they're all handy. Most of them are very, very hands-on. They learned on the job, etc. Another one is Sailing with the Winds. Sailing with the Winds. That's a really good one too. Fantastic show. They started in an RV and then they bought a catamaran about 8, 10 years ago, and I watched their show from the very beginning since they bought the catamaran and went sailing. Knew nothing about sailing, okay? They just sold these guys, what I was just telling you about, they bought a boat on Craigslist for $5,000. True story. The boat's like a little bathtub. It's like freaking 18 feet long. They fixed it all up. They made it seaworthy, and boom, they're sailing. They're still out there. It's a girl from Haiti, and he's from Canada. He's one of the most handiest guys I've ever seen in the sailing world. And you better be handy if you're out there. Or you better be on a boat with some people who are handy. Otherwise, you're up Schitt's Creek if something breaks. And you better have spare parts. And it's a whole different world. But I guess the reward that comes with it, being able to, go scuba diving, which is one of the things after I get rejuvenated, and I will go scuba dive. I want to get certified. I want to go scuba dive. It's a whole other world down there. Very peaceful. We went snorkeling in Palawan with Amber, and the colors were so beautiful. Amber came up, started crying. True story. And untouched beauty, unspoiled beauty, where the ecosystem and the coral reefs are still very much alive. Palawan. Now, don't go over there and spoil it and kill it, but it's amazing. But that's what I wanted to do. But I wanted to do it sort of in a luxurious style, if you will, because I'm fantasizing about the XRP being 10,000, 20,000. And yes, I would be a multi-billionaire many, many, many times over. And yes, then I would probably have, the 168 meter trimaran with a captain and 48 people on board, or 48 robots, with alien technology, or technology that comes from the other side of the ice wall, which is no moving parts. This way I don't need engineers on board, because if there's no moving parts and we got a system that can move real fast and dodge any storm, which is really, really important, that these boats today don't have that kind of technology. But what I'm trying to tell you in essence is I wanted to do what they did, but to have all the creature comforts of home, like a luxurious villa or a mansion, and then some, and have people taking care of everything for us, from cooking, from entertaining, maybe some scuba diving guys on board that can teach us, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to do it where it's stress-free. And I live in a place that's, my quarters of the yacht would be at least, 5,000 square feet, okay? With my master bedroom and my studio to do my podcasts with, the satellite system there from Elon Musk. What's that called? I can't think of it right now. Put it down below. Sometimes I can't think of everything. Starlink. So you know what I'm saying, but I wanted to just travel around the world, but I wanted to do it in such a luxurious style where I could have air conditioning and, have all my suits all pressed and depending on the occasion, and go on our dinghy. Obviously it'd be like a real big boat that just comes off the side, like inside of the garage where the door flaps down, and we would go to dinner to a luxurious restaurant and meet some really cool people, meet some of you guys out there that are also XRP billionaires. That was the fantasy. So I hope I gave you a mouthful. Don't follow these guys with the dates. Don't do it. There's a guy out there that called him out recently. I put him in my Telegram group. I like this guy. He's like Mel Carmine, very low key, feet on terra firma. And he called out all the gurus one by one, boom, 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 without even mentioning their name. I don't want to give them any esquire that it's going to happen tomorrow. Shame on you, because there's so many people out there that are desperate. And that's your crowd. Your crowd is broke. You couldn't sell them ice cream at 29% off. I don't want to attract people that are broke. I can't make money on people. I love everybody, but I can't save the world. If you're broke, go find a side hustle. Go start an internet business. Go do something. Make some money. Call Mel Carmine. Say, I need XRP. I got my $10,000. Can you introduce me to your brokers? Yes. Hey, I struck it rich. I got $100,000. I had a side hustle. It blew up. I started an internet company. It blew up. I got $1 million. Can your brokers do $1 million worth of XRP? Yes. We could do 100 million. 786-704-8817. Not for socializing, for business. I know I keep saying that, and then people say, "Hey, did you watch this video?" Don't do that. I'm not a rude guy, and I don't want to be rude. But please don't do that. I'm really busy. I hope you understand that. You see how busy I am? I even have toothpaste still on my. See that? That's not white hairs. That's toothpaste. Because I'm a slob sometimes. I gotta go rinse my freaking chin. Guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the other one. Make sure QFS1776.com/shop. carminesgold.com, 786-704-8817. I could get you as much gold and as much silver as you want. And you're crazy not to do it because not financial advice, but do I believe it's going to go to $500 minimum for a little piece of silver? Yeah, I believe it's going to go beyond that. Do I believe that gold is headed to, 10,000, 15,000? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, something's worth $50 right now and it's going to go to $500. That's 10X. And you want to put your money in the bank. You're not thinking straight. Okay. So go get into cash flow. Cash flow is king right now. Cash flow, you make sure your God comes first, your family comes second. Okay. Cash flow is king. Ground, do all the right things, do as many right things as you possibly can, and get yourself on a trajectory to generational wealth. I can't do it for you. I can only give you the advice. You have to follow the advice. Okay. And stayingalive.com. Okay. Alive with 2 E's. If you happen to be in Brevard County. As a matter of fact, if there's anybody out there that is an expert in AI marketing, free, that has little bots, you know what I'm talking about, those guys that know how to market with little bots, contact me, 786-704-8817. I need somebody that knows how to do it. We've done advertising. The first month we broke even. The second month, not so much. We're losing money the second month. And this guy's been promising me the moon, the stars, and he just wants his management fee to manage my ad, and I'm about to cut him off. So if you know how to market with automatic bots, AI marketing, free marketing, that's the real marketing with the bots. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to explain it in language that you guys know, but we've had this conversation many times. Contact me, 786-704-8817. That is a business call. I'm interested in talking, saying, Mel, I know about AI marketing. I got the bots. I got the free marketing. Let's go. I'll make you an offer so sweet, it will give you tooth decay. Gabish? You get it? Thank you. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Stop! Don't you dare scroll! Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we've been bamboozled in ways that you can't even imagine. From the creator who dared to question everything in Dear Mr. President comes a revelation so explosive, it will shatter your perception of reality. I'm about to tell you a story that is going to absolutely piss off a lot of people in the United States of America.
Want to know how the trick is done? Du bist ein Strawman. It's a straw man operation. You are the straw man.
This is the biggest scam ever, and your government, it thinks that you are stupid. Your local hospital thinks that you are stupid. The system is broken. It's working exactly how it was designed, just not in your favor. Gabish? Welcome to the movie Dear Mr. President, Show Me the Money, a movie about the straw man. This is a story that's going to piss off 8 billion people, a story that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that a lot of you are worth 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, and more.
Okay, my understanding of the legal fiction, which is also referred to as the straw man, I believe that they actually give us a fictional entity which we can actually use or not use. And I believe this is and a lot of other researchers do as well, that this is your name in either uppercase or with a title.
So what is this legal fiction of yours? It's your twin brother or twin sister, born the same day you were. Yes, you've had a twin your whole life, which was created by contract. The birth certificate your mother and father signed when you were born was a contract. The signing of that contract gave authority to the Social Security Administration to create a legal fiction that just happens to mirror your name.
Listen, if you were worth $100 million or $200 million, wouldn't you want to know? I know, I sure as hell would. We kept it dumbed down on the 3rd and 4th grade level of education, not because we think that you people are stupid out there, but because we believe that it needs to be dumbed down so that everybody can understand it. They've dumbed me down too, okay? I'm part of this whole entire thing. We found the most elementary videos out there to tell the whole story, and we glued together that is going to absolutely leave you flabbergasted. The only thing I can tell you from this point forward is that you go get a marriage license, it's a bond. You get divorced, it's a bond. You get a driver's license, it's a bond. You get a fishing license, it's a bond. You get a hunting license, it's a bond. You get a ticket, that ticket gets traded. Ticket like a speeding ticket. Any kind of traffic violation at all. That's why the cops out there, most of them are as dumb as a box of bricks. They know nothing about nothing, and they allow this shenanigan to play out because the guy upstairs is not going to explain to them what they're really doing. The guys upstairs know how the game is played. They're making a lot of money. These cops knew out on the street what is going on, what was being perpetrated onto the American people, not to mention the fact that we got bigger fish to fry than stop little old ladies that are doing 12 miles an hour over the speed limit, who's part of the social insecurity system, the social slave system, who's still got to go to work and is pressed for time and is doing 12 miles an hour over the speed limit, and you got 9 guys with 17,000 lights around them intimidating them. I think that's wrong. There's no emergency here, okay? And they intimidate you, they bamboozle your words. And I hate to tell you, more than half of your cops know what they're doing. They know how the game is played, except they're not allowed to make the big money. They got the highest divorce rates because they have financial problems. Meanwhile, they're stopping you. They're trading all of this money that they're collecting from the public and putting it up upstairs. And all these people are making all of this money. The only thing I can tell you is this. What you do from this point forward is up to you, because you should move this movie out to everybody you know. Guys, it's time to wake up. Watch the movie for whatever it's worth. Get it out there to everybody, because you know what? We have to wake up everybody. You know why? Because we're in a war. In a war, there's going to be casualties. Look, I understand what kind of risk I'm putting myself through. I get it. But the reality is someone's got to do it. And I'm not afraid of anything or anybody except for my God. Thank you and enjoy the show.